what you are all about to be part of, America, is a historic moment of firsts. To administer the oath to our first African American, our first Asian American, and our first woman vice president, Kamala Harris, it is my great privilege to welcome to the inaugural stage the first Latina to ever serve on the Supreme Court of the United States of America, Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the oath of office, followed by musical honors.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
That I will well and faithfully discharge.
That I will well and faithfully discharge.
The duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
The duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Hey, Sydney. So what do we do today together?
Watch the inauguration 2021.
Right, and this was an historical or HERstorical moment in time today. And what made it HERstorical?
Well, Joe Biden is now president, and the vice president is black and a female. And that's pretty HERstorical.
Yes, it is. And she's also, is it South Asian?
Probably.
She's
I don't know.
Asian descent. So that was a very historical moment today that I was blessed to be able to witness with my daughter. So you've actually witnessed several historical inaugurations in your lifetime.
Yep.
President Obama.
Yeah.
And now first female vice president.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome. I think when I was growing up, my grandmother, which would have been your great grandmother, would have been so proud to have been able to, if she were here, to witness this moment at this time. You know, I feel so blessed to be able to say that we were able to see a change develop right before our eyes, and you're part of this change. This basically means to me that there are no boundaries. You are able to do anything. People can't say, there's never going to be a black president, there's never going to be a female president or a vice president. That's not going to be said again in your lifetime.
I've seen it.
Exactly. You're witnessing this. So how does that make you feel?
I guess it's good that I'm able to, it's rare, I guess you could say, that I could be alive to see it. Mm-hmm. So it's not just something I hear in history books or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be in history books, but you can tell your kids and their kids,
I was there to witness
your grandkids and great grandkids, that you were there to witness it. So today is the last day a woman has never been vice president. And I've been seeing that quote a lot all day. Yeah, and that's deep. You think about it, wow, we can never say that again. We can never say, when are we ever going to get a female vice president or a president, so.
It happened.
It happened today, 2021.
How great.
It's a great thing one great thing coming out of this pandemic that we've been going through for almost a year now.
It's been a rough year.
It's been a rough year, but you're pushing through as much as we can, as best as you can. You just got to keep pushing. You know, the sky is the limit. What are some things that you took away from the inauguration? Were there some things that you saw, some speeches, songs that were...
The girl with the poem was really good.
Yeah, her name is Amanda Gorman, and I think she is the youngest
great.
known inaugural poet. And I believe her poem was called "The Hill We Climb," and I thought she was phenomenal. She spoke well. She, delivered it in a way that was captivating.
It was very good.
And she was excellent. She really kept my interest. And as soon as I saw her pop up on my Instagram feed, I immediately followed her. And I believe she's probably got tons more followers.
She's
now.
good for her age too.
Yeah, only 20. I believe it was 22. Did
22,
I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And she didn't look like she was nervous at all.
I
think I probably would have passed out.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Another thing about the presidency, the first lady, she has her doctorate in education, and she was still working. I don't know if she's going to be working. Well, she's first lady, but she was working up until this point.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, her PhD. Some people were talking about how she's not a real doctor because she has her doctorate in education and not the medical
Still
field.
a doctor.
Exactly, you earned it, right? What do you think
Took
about
many
that?
Years for most.
People only consider doctors with a medical degree real doctors, quote unquote.
How do you? Okay.
Yeah. So just imagine in 2021 with all these great things happening, us, finally having a first female vice president, and we're still having arguments about who's a doctor and who's not based on the type of PhD that they hold. It's a lot of years of school, and you can't take education away from anyone. And those are things that we were taught as kids. And those same people that have been taught that are the same ones that are coming out saying...
Sounding uneducated.
Exactly. So even if you do have a PhD, master's or bachelor's, it doesn't necessarily give you common sense, does it?
Right.
So what do you see, or have you thought about for our future, for the next 4 years as vice president?
The next people, well, I don't know. I just know I get to vote after this.
Yeah.
I'll be voting the next
election. Time. Wow. That's pretty awesome, Sydney.
I know.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
What makes it a big deal?
Because you're like a big part of the percentage that like determines the future for a bunch of people.
That's right. And people say, "Oh, my vote's not going to count."
Yeah, one vote changes quite a lot.
Yeah, just imagine if a whole lot of other people had that same same thoughts or mindset where their vote didn't matter. And there's still a lot of people. There's still a lot of people who are even registered voters who don't go out there and vote.
Right.
But there's really no excuse not to. You got to make sure your voice counts. And even if the person that you want to win doesn't, that doesn't mean you don't have a say in what goes on in your community. Even if it's not on the larger scale of the entire country, you can still make small changes within your community. You could make changes now, right in your school, right in your own town.
Right, just smaller things. Don't matter.
Smaller things become bigger things, and each thing matters. But I think the next 4 years for me, what's more important is to reduce the division. There's so much division and hatred and people taking sides, Republican versus Democrat, and masks versus no masks, riots versus peaceful protests, all these different things that are going on. I just hope that with someone in charge that is about speaking peace, but also making things right is going to overshadow all those people who are out, who are just angry and out to
start more than there already was.
Exactly. We don't need any more wars and riots and confusion and chaos.
Right.
It's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay to have different opinions as long as it's done in a respectful manner. I think during this time, a lot of things that I've seen personally is social media pages where people are deleting their family members and friends that they've had for years just because they have a different mindset on things, you know, instead of saying, hey, I don't agree with this is why, but I still love you, and move on.
Right. It's never
You
that
take it
deep.
personally. It's never that deep, because guess what, we're going to have lots more presidents, whether Trump was one or not. There's going to be more presidents after Biden. There's going to be a lot more changes, and I think that, you know, people just need to see that, you know, they need to make changes within themselves first, and also changes within their community. And hopefully we'll see that with this presidency.
Right.
But hopefully we'll see some changes with...
So far, it's pretty good change already.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with this COVID thing.
Right.
Have your friends talked about taking the vaccine, or...
Only time we talked about it in school is when we have classes with like the seniors and all that.
Yeah.
Because some of them turned 18,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like, I guess, when you can get the vaccine. But that's the only conversation we've had about COVID, I guess, since, other than schooling. But
So do they want to, if they had the option?
it's mainly like their parents that aren't for sure if they want them taking it, but it's still their choice since they're 18 now.
Right, the parents don't really have a
Yeah, they
say
don't have
as
to say
if they
what they
want.
can take.
But I'm sure there's some concerns because it's...
They live with their families still.
Yeah.
So
So if you were 18, would you take it? No?
Not until like another year or so.
You want to see how it pans out? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to try something new. I know your grandma is. She's looking forward to taking it, but she's older.
Mhm.
I think for her, I think it's like, you know, she's older, her immune system might not be as strong, and she
Right.
wants to be as safe as she can.
Right.
And still wants to be able to spend time with her family without risking her
That's
own
understandable.
life. Yeah. So we still got to respect people's decisions, whether they take it or not. And just think of all those home care or hospital providers that work on the front lines that are exposed to a lot more, you know.
True.
So they have to be careful, and they have to take it for their family. But yeah, what else did you have to say about the inauguration or anything?
Their outfits were nice. They had some good shoes out there.
Oh yeah. Oh, Michelle was looking real nice with her little purple
know.
burgundy outfit on.
know.
She was looking cute. They were looking good. And Jennifer Lopez sang, and Lady Gaga. What do you think about their performances?
They all looked nice.
They look nice, yeah.
Yeah.
And Garth Brooks, I think he sang
Mhm.
Amazing Grace.
Yep. It was nice today to watch.
I know people that were there were posting about how peaceful it felt. It was just you can tell that it was just a different vibe in the air. Just a peaceful vibe. Mm-hmm. Isn't that funny how you can feel those positive vibes and negative vibes? When you walk in a room and you don't know what was said, you could still tell if it was good or bad. So what do you think about former President Trump not being there?
I know like a lot of people don't like that, but it's just they just have to get over it because.
What do you feel about? Not a lot of people. What does Sydney feel about him not being there? He's only the second president ever to not show up at an inauguration for another president?
He is very petty for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that's him because that's just kind of the stuff he does and what we've seen for the past 4 years.
So I'm not surprised.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing too.
It is.
It's almost like
disappointed, but not surprised.
It's almost like everything that you tell your kids not to do is what he did. Like, if you don't win a game, you still go over to the winners and shake their hands and congratulate them, right? You don't walk away. You don't be a sore loser. And everything that we've tried to raise, you to be is like the opposite of what he's doing. And he is like the biggest influence for his followers, at least 50% of the people. But yeah, that's unfortunate that he left in such a way. And he may regret it, but we'll never know. But it's definitely time to make a change in the White House.
Right.
Now, Biden is 78 years old.
Crazy. But still, we saw the vice president.
Yeah. That's pretty up there. What do you think?
But still.
Do you think he's gonna make those? You think he's gonna be able to make some changes?
I think he's gonna be able to still make changes and do what he does.
And do it well.
No matter his age, he's a good team.
Yeah, he is a good team. What do you think about his team? Do you think that the people he bring in is a good representation of the world or of the United States?
Yeah, I do. It's diverse.
Yeah, it's definitely more diverse now.
Which is even better.
It is.
And they support they support a lot better things than other groups.
Well, it's more representation for people who more than just one side. It's representation for a lot of different groups that might not have felt like they were being represented from the states or from the presidents. What else did you want to share about today? In the history and in history in the making?
I think that's it. I'll see how it goes. I think it's going to go well for the next 4 years.
So what would you like to say, your ending message to the president and the vice president of the United States?
I don't know.
You wish him well?
Yep. Good luck, Charlie.
Good luck, President Joseph Biden and Vice President Madam Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Signing off.
When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is.